So I'm going to start off with health check because we're going to be talking about a subject that really is an emotive subject. You know, every single person, you guys in the room, us here, anybody that you go and talk to about this subject is going to have their own personal story about it. You know, you're all going to either have your own personal experiences or your own connected experiences or your own professional experience of working with somebody who's either at risk of causing sexual harm or has been convicted of sexual harm. And our emotions are really important, and I want you to feel really able within this session to be safe and to look after yourselves. So although the subject, of course, it's really important, your employers have asked you to come on this, hopefully the information that you gather will be really useful for your service. In this session, you're fundamentally the most important person. If you need to just disengage for a few minutes and stare out the window, look at the lovely view, please do that. If you need to kind of get up, make excuses, go off to the loo, go for a walk around the building, please do that. There's two of us here. If you just want, 5 minutes to go, for goodness sake, this is how I'm feeling about this, or if anything triggers you, please do just, signal to us whenever you're comfortable to, and we'll make sure that we've got that time for you. In addition to the subject being a really emotive subject, we're living in a time at the moment where we're all under increased pressure. So please do use this time. How often do you really get 6 hours where you've not got your caseload and you're not kind of desperately trying to contact this person and meet that person and such like? So do use this 6 hours for you, but look after yourself first. Refreshments out in the corridor, you can get yourself some tea and coffee. So please do that. We will have breaks throughout the day and also during the activities and things. If you want to go and grab yourself refreshments, that's absolutely fine at any point. Accelerated learning, you will see on your desk COVID safe, your own personal accelerated learning pack. So usually we would have a whole array of things all over the table, like slinkies and Play-Doh and colouring and things like that. But in the current situation, you've each got your own accelerated learning toy, a few sweets and a pen there. Accelerated learning is the notion and the understanding that we all have 5 senses, and that actually for each of us, at least one of those senses is a dominant sense. And if we can stimulate that sense, then it helps to keep us alert, it helps to keep us engaged, and it can increase our retention of information up to 80%. So if I'm in a training course, or if I'm on a conference, or even if I'm just on a long meeting, I will be sitting continually fiddling with one of these. You'll see that is our logo, but it's also a bracelet and an accelerated learning toy, and you'll see me just literally sat fiddling, or, surprise, surprise, I need to be talking or chewing using my mouth. So please do, throughout the day, eat your sweets, fiddle with your accelerated learning toy, use your pen, do some doodling, see what helps you to stay awake, and then, reflect on how much actually stimulating those different senses have also helped you to retain information as well. And then finally, and the first time that I'm going to ask you to start talking to me, is ground rules. I've already kind of introduced the session and explained to you that it is going to be a full-on session, and we are going to be talking about emotive subjects. From a ground rule perspective, it's really important that as a group, we decide between us actually what the ground rules of this session is. To make sure it's a safe session, and to make sure it's a session where actually your learning needs are met and you get as much as you possibly can out of the session. So somebody start me off. Somebody tell me what they think they would like a ground rule of today's session to be.
I think just be respectful of each other's views and opinions and stuff.
Yeah, that's a really, really important one, because sometimes we band respect about really easily, but actually in a session like this, you'll get so much more from it if you each feel able to be honest with where you're at and what your thoughts are. So to have respect for each other's opinions, that doesn't mean don't question them,
No.
And don't have supportive challenge of each other. Of course, that's exactly what I'll facilitate, but be respectful of where people are at and what their opinions are. Brilliant, thank you. So we're going to be respectful. What else are we going to do? And I'm going to come to each of you individually. There's only a few of you. Over to you.
Okay, I don't know her name, so I'd like to be able to.
Yeah.
Sorry?
We're getting to, straight after this slide, we're on to introductions. So we'll come to that and we'll absolutely go to introductions, get everybody to introduce themselves and also tell us a little bit about why they're here as well.
Okay. Right. Ground group. No, I cannot even think.
So what about confidentiality?
Yeah, that's important.
So why do you think in a session like this, confidentiality would be
Well, I
important?
think because you're opening up, then you don't want to feel that it's going to go somewhere else.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think
Because you tend to hold back.
Yeah, and I really would encourage you not to, and that's why confidentiality is such an important ground rule in this setting. You all can kind of breathe a little bit of a sigh of relief from a safeguarding perspective. If any of you share anything that makes me think that there is some type of ongoing risk, I will come and talk to you about that individually, and then we together will make a determination about then where that information goes. So from a confidentiality perspective, all you guys need to think is Chatham House rules. What's said in this room stays in this room. Brilliant, thank you.
I think you went over it, but like everyone has their own point of view, so not being judgmental about what you talk about, or if anybody mentions anything.
Yeah.
An open mind.
Yeah, fantastic. Such a good one. Not being judgmental, having an open mind is so important, because that completely connects with what you're saying about actually it enables you to then to share and be honest, which then means that you'll learn much more. We do a specific part in this session around frame of reference, and when we get to that we talk about your own personal views and actually how those personal views colour everything that we think and we do, and actually as professionals how it's part of our responsibility to challenge those ourselves. So yeah, perfect. So not being judgmental of each other and giving each other that space, really. Fantastic. Last but not least.
I'm really not sure.
So what about thinking from an engagement perspective? What's the session going to be like if you all sit here and play on your phones, look out the window?
Yeah, maybe I'll make effort to make sure that we're all joining in and at least making it a bit more fun for us all.
Yeah. Seriously, you'll get sick of the sound of my voice if you just let me talk at you. You'll be like, oh my God, Tammy. So yeah, engage as much as you're comfortable to. Do you know, it is only a small group. Do you know, we are going to kind of be talking and going through different activities. Engage as much as you're comfortable to engage, and give each other kind of the time to be able to do that. We will encourage you and we will break up the session so it is small group and bigger group and then individual and things like that, so that you're not always going to be engaging in this kind of modality, but there will always be opportunity for you to engage. So yeah, so I think that the perfect ground rules for a session like this: we're going to respect each other, we're going to hold each other's views in confidence, we're all going to engage and interact, and we're going to be non-judgmental. So that's brilliant, and I can already see at the back the testing out the accelerated learning flow, so perfect. Fantastic, thank you. Let's get on to some introductions. Let's find out